I believe in the sand beneath my toes. The beach gives a feeling, an earthy feeling.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best examples of songs that sound upbeat even though they contain sadder lyrics or context. Number 50, Waterfalls, TLC. For one of their greatest songs, the R&B group sent a serious message over the top of a memorable groove.
Lonely mother gazing out of the window, staring at a sun that she just can't touch.
TLC tells stories about everyday people working their way through mistakes that ultimately result in massive consequences. Despite the beautiful scenery the song's title conjures up, the lyrics actually dive into heartfelt stories about violence and disease. It's ultimately a cautionary tale urging everyone to reconsider their actions and how they may impact the people around them.
Waterfalls, please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Through their skilled singing and Left Eye's rapping, the band dishes out some tough love to listeners. The song's chorus is definitely catchy, while also reminding you of what really matters.
Have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast.
Number 49, Dancing on My Own, Robin. There definitely aren't that many club anthems that have the power to make you cry, but Swedish singer Robin somehow manages to do just that with Dancing on My Own.
Somebody said you got a new friend.
Robin describes the heart-wrenching dilemma of finding your ex on the dance floor with someone new. The song skillfully balances the emotional highs and lows of such a moment, all set to an infectious pop beat.
I'm in the corner, watching you kiss her. Oh.
This, combined with Robin's mesmerizing voice, delivers all the feels, making you want to dance and cry at the same time. Rather than become a shadow of themselves, this all-time classic encourages everyone going through a breakup to simply dance through their tears.
Keep dancing on my own.
Number 48, Royals, Lorde. In 2013, New Zealand singer Lorde took the world by storm with Royals, establishing herself as a generational talent.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh.
She does this by tackling the materialistic views that are often glorified in the music industry. While some might take the lyrics at face value, others interpret this as a more elaborate satire.
We'll never be royals. It's a running our blood.
It's a bittersweet tale on misplaced priorities, taking aim at the shallow, decadent, and aimless figures that plague wealthy circles. Most pop vocalists are incapable of offering such an incisive critique of modern society, especially when they're this young. But Lorde somehow manages to accomplish that. The song's production is cleverly deceptive, inviting listeners in with catchy beats and leaving them with sharp social commentary.
And baby, I'll let me live that fantasy.
Number 47, Running Up That Hill, Kate Bush. One of Kate Bush's most beloved songs, Running Up That Hill features a rhythm so hypnotic it pulls you in, compelling you to listen closer to her poetic words.
It doesn't hurt me, yeah. Do you wanna feel how it feels?
The lyrics tell a story of a person who longs to switch places with their partner in a bid to understand them better. She seems to think that this is one way they can come to know each other and bridge the divisions that complicate their romance.
If only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd guarantee swap places.
This desire speaks to the real-life worries about relationships, as well as the larger issues between romantic partners. Bush doesn't shy away from these profound ideas, letting the complex mix of words and music form into an iconic track.
Running up that road, they're running up that hill, with no problem.
Number 46, My Best Friend's Girl, The Cars. My Best Friend's Girl appeared on the debut album of new wave band The Cars, and it remains one of their best hits.
Always dancing down the street. Drink this way through eyes.
Despite its catchy tune, there is an underlying sadness woven into the song. The pain is right there in the title, with lyrics that tell the tale of someone whose girlfriend is stolen by their friend. Certainly a sticky situation that many have found themselves in, but the melody is upbeat enough to make you forget the seriousness of it all.
Got to be your boots. Then you tip tight love.
When you really think about it though, it's a profoundly devastating scenario. It may have rock vibes that are fun to sing along to, but you'd probably reconsider belting out this classic with a smile.
Yeah.
Number 45, Build Me Up Buttercup, The Foundations. Pop songs from the 1960s often rank among the happiest tunes of the century, and Build Me Up Buttercup is no exception.
Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down?
Yet beneath its infectious melody lies an unfortunate tale of heartbreak. The song captures the frustrations of a relationship that's not going exactly as planned, with the partner building up the singer's hopes only to disappoint them in the end.
In time, and I'll make you happy. I'll be home, I'll be beside the phone waiting for you.
Despite the Foundation's spirited performance, the track deals with the reality of this toxic romance. Anyone who's been let down by a significant other certainly can relate to these universal words. It's a soulful classic that takes a serious look at love while keeping your toes tapping.
So build me up, buttercup, don't break my heart.
Number 44, I Wish, Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder isn't just a master of emotional ballads. He's also one of the most joyful voices of his generation.
Looking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy.
His infectious vocals and instrumental talents shine just as bright in the 1976 single I Wish. In this song, Wonder looks back on his life with a mix of glee and a little sadness. The days of his youth are gone, and he now struggles with nostalgia.
Put me down behind my disco days. Good, come back once more.
Despite the triumphant horns that give the tune an uplifting sound, Wonder's words remind us that you truly start to miss the good old days only after they're over. The artist knows how to play both sides of the musical coin and still leave you smiling.
Come back once more, my disco days.
Number 43, Pompeii, Bastille. Bastille might be best remembered for this thrilling hit, whose lyrics will definitely make you think twice about your own life.
I was left to my own devices.
The title contains obvious allusions to the tragic historical event, but there's still some depth lurking underneath. If you listen closely, you'll find that the tune is full of rich metaphors.
In your pose is the dust settled around us.
Bastille frontman Dan Smith weaves a sad tale around the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, envisioning the thoughts and words of the city's doomed residents. If it all ended tomorrow, would you be happy about how you lived your life? The song explores this timeless question, using the depressing event to make us think.
Does it almost feel like nothing changed at all?
Number 42, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Tears for Fears. As one of their most identifiable hits, Tears for Fears' Everybody Wants to Rule the World captures them at their best.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back.
The driving synth keeps listeners invested through its trademark 1980s vibes. It also touches on subjects such as the Cold War, digging into the real-world problems created by power-hungry people.
Help me make the most of freedom and our pleasure.
The group sings an important message about the pitfalls of war, conflict, and greed. While the message is applicable to a wide range of topics, it still works in today's messy world. You might be bouncing along to the production, but the single's thematic content will make you consider the biggest problems facing humanity. Number 41, Ants Marching, Dave Matthews Band. This group is known for their energetic hits and soulful ballads. Ants Marching may sound like it falls under the former category, but it actually has a surprisingly dark side.
Wakes up in the morning.
The lyrics discuss the ways in which people in society grow isolated from each other. Not only that, it has insights into the drifting apart of family and friends.
Take these chances, place them in the box.
Lead singer Dave Matthews alludes to the pros and cons of nostalgia, crafting a song that is filled with longing and questions if we're all that close to one another. The 90s single combines jaunty singing and violin playing with a thought-provoking message and asks listeners to reflect on their own connections with others. Number 40, Time Will Crawl, David Bowie. Continuing his success into the 1980s, David Bowie didn't stop pushing the envelope as an artist.
I've never sailed on the sea. I would not challenge a
His single Time Will Crawl covers the issues of the mid-decade, such as the Chernobyl disaster. As the uncertainty regarding the catastrophic incident swirled, the singer gave his take on these late Cold War period events. He uses visual metaphors to describe the environmental effects of radiation.
I saw a black, black stream full of wide-eyed fish.
This includes what the effects of a massive event like that does to the human body, with some references being straight out of a horror film. Bowie uses the pop sounds of the day to explain his complex feelings on the matter. So maybe think twice about putting this on a pump-up playlist. Number 39, Blinding Lights, The Weeknd. Even though so many people have heard this popular song, few may realize that it has an additional darkness lurking beneath the lyrics.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough.
This journey into a chaotic night out offers much more than a pulsating beat and a memorable hook. The singer also mentions that his songwriting alludes to drunk and reckless driving.
City's cold and empty. No one's around to judge me.
Putting more edgy subjects at the forefront, the artist explores the pitfalls of partying too hard and having impaired judgment. With an added danger element, Blinding Lights takes on a whole new meaning. It is so much more than a catchy and one-off commercial hit.
No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch.
Number 38, Rehab, Amy Winehouse. One of Amy Winehouse's greatest hits came layered with a hard reality.
I'd rather be at home with Ray.
Rehab is impossible to listen to now without considering the ultimate outcome of the singer's life. While there is some discrepancy about the central lyrics, the ultimate meaning of the single comes from her personal struggles.
So I always keep a bottle near.
At the very least, listeners can enjoy the song knowing that it helped Winehouse achieve legendary status in the music world. The fearless words are especially vulnerable, and a pointed look at dealing with substance use. With that in mind, all of this happens with a Mark Ronson production to pump up the overall mood.
They try to make me go to rehab. I say no, no, no.
Number 37, Walkin' on the Sun, Smash Mouth. Anyone that enjoys Smash Mouth likely knows them for their unbridled rock and pop work.
It ain't no joke. I like to buy the world a token, teach the world to sing.
Walkin' on the Sun features a funky, psychedelic riff that feels right at home with their best efforts. Little do people know that it has roots in the Rodney King incident from the early 1990s. After being deeply affected by the LA riots, the group tried to reference the destruction that took place as a result of police brutality. The titular metaphor takes an indirect route to deal with a major event from the decade. Doing so with a multi-genre flair, this big hit also established the inviting sound that set the group apart from their contemporaries.
You might as well be walking on the sun.
Number 36, Santeria, Sublime. This ska song helped supplant the Sublime myth following their singer's death.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball.
Although it has an easygoing vibe, Santeria features some more disturbing lyrics than expected. Bradley Nowell sings about wanting to find the man that took his girlfriend.
Well, I swear that I really want to know.
Not only does he threaten to shoot the man, he says he'll strike his ex-partner. This seems largely contrary to the chilled-out production of the single. Using a reggae influence, the act examines the tale of a scorned lover with gritty details. Noel's delivery and the band's efforts provide a great counterpoint to the heavier content.
Believe me when I say that I got something for it, punk ass.
Number 35, Mbop, Hanson. Known as a highlight of the mid-1990s, Hanson's single features a lot of gibberish lyrics intermixed with a more serious message.
Yes, I'm in a relationship in this life. I want to relax.
The main theme of the song is about making meaningful connections before growing old and lonely. Coming from a trio of kids, this seems like something truly unexpected. Instead of leaning into the catchier aspects of Mbop, the three brothers include a more realistic philosophy that's not interested in sugarcoating life. By the end of the first verse, the group wants listeners to reach out to others before it's too late. This kind of fully formed idea separates this hit from other pop sounds that are all style and no substance. Number 34, More Than a Feeling, Boston. Along with being a 1970s classic, More Than a Feeling endures as a timeless triumph. The lyrical content describes someone's life after parting with a woman named Marianne. When analyzing it, the track could be about mourning someone or a relationship. Either way, the song explores the more complicated struggle of being unable to forget someone. This becomes like an obsession for the singer as they contemplate existence without their former lover. Thinking of her after hearing an important song, the narrator feels a deep sadness and nostalgia throughout. Boston's tremendous vocal abilities and rock instrumentation only make this all the more effective. Number 33, Copacabana, Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow made a career out of various show tunes and soft rock hits. Copacabana might be his most notable, featuring some classic storytelling and a lively production.
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl.
But this narrative has a much darker twist lurking inside than usual. The dancer Lola is caught in a love triangle between bartender Tony and the evil Rico.
But Rico went a bit too far. Tony sailed across the bar.
Following the violent death of Tony, the showgirl turns to alcohol to heal her pain. The singer doesn't let this awful turn change the cheery sound. Rather than wrapping up this track with a happy ending, Manilow closes out this cautionary tale without providing any easy answers.
At the Copa, don't fall in love.
Number 32, Ain't It Fun, Paramore. Hayley Williams confronts universal fears in this Grammy-winning hit.
I don't mind letting you down easy, but just give it time.
Paramore went through major personnel changes prior to the recording, along with aspirations to change up their sound. Williams also cites a significant move across the country as an inspiration for lyrics about embracing serious life changes.
Ain't it fun? Living in that real world.
As the song progresses, audiences come to the bittersweet realization that growing up comes with hard decisions and feelings of loneliness. The singer's powerful vocals don't get enough credit for selling this as a multifaceted piece of work. All the while, the band keeps the energy elevated throughout a fun-sounding number. Number 31, Buddy Holly, Weezer. One of Weezer's earliest hits, Buddy Holly is full of fun references and rocking guitars.
What's with these homies dissing my girl? Why do they gotta front?
The song also brings up something of a sore subject for Rivers Cuomo. Taking a cue from his own life, the singer alludes to a time that his friends poked fun at him and his girlfriend. The couple was singled out in particular because of Cuomo's partner being Asian. Through a fantastic melody and happy sound, this alternative anthem chooses to celebrate their relationship. It tries to keep optimism alive in the face of an unaccepting outside world. The singer takes an otherwise negative interaction and turns it into an empowering statement. Number 30, Holiday, Green Day. On their hit album American Idiot, Green Day offered up a strong backlash against the Bush administration of the 2000s. Holiday is one single that critiques certain controversial policies. Throwing shade at unnecessary scare tactics, the group doesn't take lightly to the politicians of the day or the people who mindlessly watch them take over. They also use an amazing riff and drum part to elevate the material even further. Unafraid to sing his heart out, Billy Joe Armstrong has rarely been as furious as he is on this particular track. Helping to sell the greater album's thesis, the song never lets up in its hard-driving march toward the end. Number 29, Style, Taylor Swift. While some of her earlier work examines fairy tale romances, Taylor Swift's recent efforts take a darker look at love.
Midnight, you
Style is one such song that takes a mature glimpse at adult relationships. The singer delves into two lovers that can't seem to escape each other's orbit.
You got that James Dean daydream look in your eye.
Even with both parties potentially cheating, the messy couple finds themselves in each other's arms over and over. The supremely catchy track satisfies Swifties of all kinds for its multi-layered look into humanity. On the eclectic 1989 album, this single holds its own as a formidable mix of compelling music and lyrics.
We never go out of style. We never go out of style.
Number 28, Bittersweet Symphony, The Verve. Sampling an orchestral version of a Rolling Stones song, Bittersweet Symphony is a track full of emotional highs and lows.
'Cause it's a bittersweet symphony that's life.
The Verve single has a triumphant sound throughout that's hypnotic to say the least. Once the verse starts, the lyrics slowly reveal a more pessimistic view of the world. The singer says that life is about working for money and struggling to get by as you go.
Trying to find someone and then you die.
Describing the eternal quest to break the mold, singer Richard Ashcroft dishes out his own interpretation of the daily grind. In the end, the compelling production keeps audiences coming back for a moving piece. Number 27, Big Yellow Taxi, Joni Mitchell. This folksy pop song may be easy to bop along to, but the lyrics' deeper meaning is far less cheery.
Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone?
Big Yellow Taxi explores the perils of human influence endangering our environment, but you'd never know it from its tempo alone.
They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.
The song is inspired by a trip Mitchell took to Hawaii, in which she literally witnessed a parking lot being installed below a gorgeous mountain range. The success of the tune is undeniable, as it's been covered many times by notable artists such as Counting Crows and Amy Grant. And its timeless message will always hit close to home.
I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man.
Number 26, Mamma Mia, ABBA. Throughout the 1970s, ABBA was known as some of the best makers of pop music. This didn't mean they couldn't sneak more complicated lyrics into their efforts.
I've been cheated by you since I don't know when.
In one of their most notable tracks, the group sings about a volatile relationship. When it seems like the two are over, they end up getting back together again.
Mamma mia, here I go again. Mama, how can I resist you?
It's a much more nuanced take on a romantic story, with possible references to them being in something of a toxic partnership. All throughout the tune, the musicians populate the single with compelling rhythm and guitar parts.
Mama, I could never let you go.
Number 25, No Rain, Blind Melon. Blind Melon was a momentary sensation for their hit No Rain in the early 1990s.
All I can say is that my life is pretty plain.
Shannon Hoon sings over this psychedelic throwback. If you listen closely, you'll notice that he delivers words that are more depressing upon closer inspection. Hoon mentions feelings of emptiness that hang over people that sleep most of the day. In a brave look at mental illness, the track features a lot more than trippy guitars and fun grooves.
And I don't understand why I sleep all day.
Bassist Brad Smith was responsible for the basic concept from his own experience being around depression and personally living with it. Through their bright instrumentation, the band conceals more complex emotions in their biggest single. Number 24, Paper Planes, MIA. Achieving international stardom in the late 2000s, MIA received major commercial and critical attention for Paper Planes.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my neck.
Her collaboration with artists like Diplo features everything from gunshots to a killer sample courtesy of The Clash. It also takes an inspired look at the immigrant experience, with a satirical view of the working class perspective.
No one on the corner has swagger like us. Hit me on my banner, prepaid wireless.
The lyrics play around with stereotypes about violent crime, utilizing sound effects that create a visceral experience. This in-your-face attitude pushes back against xenophobia with a dynamic production. Often called one of the best songs of its decade, this single lives on for its expert construction and the performer's unique vision. Number 23, Drops of Jupiter, Train. Most of Train's songs have a positive vibe, giving the band a general appeal for the likes of pop radio.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere.
Drops of Jupiter is one of their big hits with their trademark production style, blending rock and pop elements with a much deeper story. Pat Monahan said that this single was inspired by his mother's battle with cancer.
But tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet?
In listening to the track much closer, audiences can hear a message about making the most of life while you can. The orchestral arrangement helps sell an inspirational tone despite these words. Ultimately, Monahan speaks about more of a hopeful message in the face of uncertainty.
Now you know looking for yourself out there.
Number 22, Maxwell's Silver Hammer, The Beatles. Among the darkest Beatles songs of them all, Maxwell's Silver Hammer doesn't sound horrifying on the surface.
Joan was quizzical, studied metaphysical science in the home.
The musical arrangement from Abbey Road resembles something that you might sing along to in grade school. If you look closer at the lyrics, you'll find something much more sinister at the track's core.
Bang, bang, Maxwell silver hammer came down on her head. Do-do-do-do-do.
Paul McCartney sings about a sadistic man that uses a hammer to dispatch his victims. With that in mind, the accompanying noises of the tool hitting an anvil feel especially eerie. Leave it to this legendary band to give a brutal murderer a whimsical soundtrack.
Bang, bang, Maxwell silver hammer made sure that he was dead. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Number 21, Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen makes no bones about being a voice for the working class and downtrodden in America.
Born down in a dead man's town. The first kicker took us when I hit the ground.
Focusing on veterans issues, Born in the USA has been misinterpreted over the years because of its upbeat energy and bold title. Conservatives have used the song as a patriotic rallying cry, not realizing that Springsteen is being critical of the US with his lyrics.
10 years burning down the road. Nowhere to run, ain't got nowhere to go.
It specifically takes a look at a story about soldiers coming back from war only to face financial struggles. Drawing a line in the sand, the artist describes the inability of the government to provide adequate care for its own heroes.
Number 20, LDN, Lily Allen.
Riding through the city on my bike all day, 'cause the filth took away my license. It doesn't get me down and I feel okay.
This entry is a ska-influenced song featuring a rhythm derived from a Colombian Caribbean dance style. So it's not unreasonable to think it'll be light, summery, and only about the good times, right?
But I wonder what goes on behind doors. A fella looking dapper and he's sitting with a slapper, then I see it's a pimp and it's possessed.
Wrong. On this track, Alan takes us through the more impoverished areas of London, talking about how things might seem lovely, but in reality, they're very much the opposite.
Why would I wanna be anywhere else? Sun is in the sky, why would I wanna be?
The video for the song shows an idealistic version of the city, but contrasts it with a much grayer, more depressing depiction.
Everything seems nice, but if you look twice, you can see it's all lies.
Number 19, Little Talks, of Monsters and Men. Little Talks from Icelandic rock band of Monsters and Men certainly sounds like a good time. Cheerful and somewhat celebratory sounding horns blare throughout most of the song, complete with confident chants of hey and a fun back and forth between male and female vocals.
Shit will carry our bodies safe to shore.
Basically, it's a nice little indie darling with a budget. While the back and forth may sound cute, it's meant to represent a dead husband and his depressed and lonely widow who may or may not be losing her mind.
Shit will carry our bodies safe to
They desperately want to be together and very well maybe one day, but for now, they're apart and painfully aware of it.
Now we're torn apart. There's nothing we can do.
It's not so fun now, is it? Number 18, Basket Case, Green Day.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine?
Never has a song about anxiety and paranoid delusion been so much fun. Basket Case is a punk rock classic, filled with heavy guitar riffs and an instantly recognizable and catchy hook.
It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up.
It makes for a really fun punk song, but when you dig a little deeper, it's clear that vocalist Billy Joe Armstrong is crying for help.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
The entire song revolves around his anxiety and paranoia, and the belief that he's losing control of his own sanity.
It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up.
Armstrong said that writing this song was the only way he knew how to process his emotions, as he genuinely believed that he was losing his mind. Number 17, Mr. Jones, Counting Crows. It's pretty much impossible for Counting Crows to sound anything less than happy.
So come dance the silence down through the morning. Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
This song is a nice little rock tune, complete with light guitar riffs, and Adam Duritz's soft and soaring vocals.
Mr. Jones and me tell each other fairy tales.
It's a really easy song to sing along to, despite the somewhat morose subject matter. Duritz was inspired to write the song after looking at some beautiful women and realizing that he was too shy to approach them.
Mr. Jones and me look into the future.
He went on to write a song about a depressed and lonely man who does not believe in himself and who wants nothing more than to be acknowledged and loved. So, you know, fun stuff.
Wanna be someone to believe, yeah.
Number 16, Some Nights, Fun. At times, this song sounds an awful lot like Simon and Garfunkel's Cecilia.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck
Which is a happy but depressing song in its own right.
anymore.
This is more power pop than Afrobeat, however, and Some Nights' layered harmonies and frontman Nate Russ's soaring, Freddie Mercury-esque vocals would make you think it's happier than it actually is.
I was never one to believe the hype. Say that for the black and white.
In truth, it's a song about a young man being far away from his home and his family,
Some nights I wish that this all would end, 'cause I could use some friends.
and having an existential crisis as a result.
My heart is breaking for my sister and the calm that she call love. And then I look into my nephew's eye.
Number 15, Guns for Hands, 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots are no strangers to the happy-sounding but actually depressing song. For example, the end of Car Radio makes for a fun dance, but it's actually about Tyler's crippling anxiety. However, there's perhaps no bigger contrast in their discography than Guns for Hands. Fans love it for its rocking synth line, Tyler's fun use of rap, and the snappy vocals.
We turn the hands to guns, straight in the thumbs for ammunition. I must forewarn you of my disorder or my condition, 'cause when the sun sets, it upsets.
But the song's origin has a much darker backstory.
Where your mind has gone, and you swear to your parents.
According to Tyler Joseph, it was written after the lead singer was approached by fans so afflicted with severe depression that they considered taking their own lives.
That you all have guns.
Joseph then penned the song to let his fans know they have control over their circumstances. Number 14, Electric Avenue, Eddie Grant. This song's upbeat feel made it one of the most popular songs of 1983 in the United States. It fuses early 80s new wave with reggae influences in a way that makes you want to dance and feel good. However, the lyrics reference the Brixton riots in London that took place a year before the track came out, in its native UK, and the title refers to a market street in the Brixton area.
Down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh no.
The lyrics also lament poverty more generally, expressing frustration about food shortages and a low-income existence.
Working so hard like a soldier, can't afford a thing on TV.
Number 13, Today, The Smashing Pumpkins. Today certainly sounds like a happy song, doesn't it?
Today is the greatest day I've ever known.
After all, the speaker is describing the happiest day of his life. It's only when you realize that Billy Corgan wrote the lines in a sarcastic tone that the song takes on a more sinister meaning. Corgan wrote this song at a difficult point in his life. He was depressed, hesitant of his fame, and living in a parking garage.
Can't wait for tomorrow. I'm unhappy.
In case the lyrics, "Can't wait for tomorrow, I might not have that long," and "I wanted more than life could ever grant me" don't quite spell it out for you, the song is very much about Corgan's preoccupation with ending his own life rather than savoring it. Number 12, Rock the Casbah, The Clash. This slice of dancey new wave is one of the most radio-friendly tracks The Clash ever made. Inspired by the ban on Western music in Iran after the 1979 Islamic Revolution, it's a myth-like tale of a king banning music, and that ban being flouted by the people. Under the buoyant rhythm, its lyrics are overtly political, calling out the hypocrisy of Middle Eastern leaders enjoying the benefits of oil revenue and Western luxuries while trying to keep the population poor and ignorant. Number 11, Bad Moon Rising, Creedence Clearwater Revival. There's something inherently fun about the end times, isn't there? This classic song is full of catchy vocals and a clap-worthy beat, yet it's about an incoming metaphorical storm. Many critics and music listeners have put forth various theories regarding the song's meaning, with some taking it in a literal, apocalyptic sense, others arguing that it's about anxiety or depression, and others reading it within the tumultuous political climate of its time. However you want to read it, it's certainly not a happy song, despite its foot-tapping sense of fun. Number 10, You Can Call Me Al, Paul Simon. The lead single from Simon's seminal album Graceland, this song talks about going through a midlife crisis, all while sung over a joyous, Afrobeat-inspired instrumental.
Says, why am I short of attention? Got a short little span of attention, and all my nights are so long.
Despite the happy backing track, the singer-songwriter's lyrics describe a man who seems to even question his existence at times.
Be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal.
Inspired by an incident at a party, when French composer Pierre Boulez accidentally referred to Simon as Al, the track still made the top 30 in the United States and was a much bigger hit in the rest of the world.
I can call you Betty, Betty when you call me out.
Number 9, Hey Ya, Outkast. This is the one that everybody knows, so it really shouldn't come as a surprise to you. That said, it's one of the topic's greatest examples for a reason. The line, "Y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance," perfectly describes Hey Ya.
You think you got it, oh, you think you got it, but got it, just don't get it till there's nothing at all.
It's about a couple who feels they should be in a relationship just because it's the traditional thing to do and because they're afraid of being alone. And it features some heavy themes, including generational divides and questions of emotional immaturity. But hey, the music is poppy and bouncy, and Andre's vocals are fast and energetic, so get up and dance. Number 8, Mr. Brightside, The Killers. How can this not be a happy song?
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all.
It features a charming and angelic sounding guitar, sharp synths, and beautiful vocals from Brandon Flowers.
I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag.
It's even called Mr. Brightside, for crying out loud. Well, if you consider crippling suspicion and paranoia to be fun, then yeah, it's fun.
Open up my eager eyes.
The song plays with ambiguity, as it's not clear whether the speaker's girlfriend actually cheated on him or if she even kissed another man. However, the protagonist's thoughts spiral into infidelity, despite a lack of evidence.
And I'm going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest.
At the end of the song, his paranoia has cost him both his happiness and his relationship. Fun stuff. Number 7, Detroit Rock City, Kiss. Compared to what the song is actually about, the chorus can be incredibly misleading on first listen. Despite the anthemic nature of the track, it tells the tale of a real-life Kiss fan that dies while driving to one of the band's concerts. Frontman Paul Stanley describes how the fan drinks and smokes before getting in his car and drives at lightning speed on his way to the show, where he hits a truck and dies. Released as a single, the song became a fan favorite and inspired the movie of the same name. Number 6, American Pie, Don McLean. American Pie is widely considered to be one of the greatest songs ever, and debate has raged regarding the content of its lyrics for decades.
Did you write the book of love? Do you have faith in God above?
While the song directly references various events, including the plane crash that killed many notable musicians,
The day the music died.
some people believe that those incidents only serve as metaphors for deeper, more introspective meanings.
I miss American pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Some believe that it's about expressing grief, others believe that it's about the loss of innocence, and McLean himself has stated that it's about the destruction of morality and idealism.
Do you recall what was revealed today? The music.
No matter the interpretation, it's very clear that there are a lot of heavy and depressing themes wrapped in the light folk sound. Number 5, Jump, Van Halen. The synth riff that defines this entire track is so fist-pumpingly happy, yet the chorus hides a dark secret. According to frontman David Lee Roth, the song's lyrics were first inspired by a news story he saw on TV that showed a man readying to jump off a building.
Might as well jump, jump. Might as well jump.
When Roth penned the song, however, the lyrics were apparently about jumping on an opportunity rather than off a building.
Can't you see me standing here? I got my back against the wrecking machine.
The peppy synth line was probably what helped this tune become the band's only #1 single to be released during their career.
Might as well jump, jump. Go ahead, jump.
Number 4, Bullet, Hollywood Undead. There's few other songs in the history of music in which the lyrics and music contrast so greatly.
Yeah, I'm gone again. It's gone on too long. Tell you how it ends. I'm sitting on the edge with my two best friends.
To those not listening to the lyrics, Bullet sounds like a borderline children's song. It's happy and infectious, features a child in the outro, and is filled with the sounds of bells.
I gotta take this opportunity before I miss it, 'cause now I hear the sirens and they're off in the distance.
However, the song actually chronicles the thoughts of a depressed man who is sitting on a building about to jump to his death.
So if I survive, then I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
It's also revealed that he's an alcoholic who has previously made an attempt on his own life through drug abuse and self-harm.
I looked in the mirror and you said goodbye. Climbed to the roof to see if you could fly.
While flying might sound fun to a child, it takes on a completely different meaning for an adult struggling with their mental health. Number 3, Semi-Charmed Life, Third Eye Blind. In a textbook case of dark lyrics over a happy instrumental track, this song opens with one of the most joyous sounding guitar riffs you will ever hear. What frontman Stephen Jenkins sings over it, though, is a detailed account of drug use and the physical intimacy that ensues afterwards.
The sky was gold, it was rose. I was taking sips of it to my nose, and I wish I could get back there someplace.
As dark and weird as the lyrical content may be,
Then I bumped again, and said, how do I get back there to the place where I fell asleep?
it sure didn't faze listeners, who helped Semi-Charmed Life reach number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1997. Number 2, 99 Luftballons, Nena. Next on our list, we have one of the most successful non-English songs in US history. And with its typical 80s keyboard riff and upbeat tempo, it's not hard to see why. However, the lyrics tell a frightening tale of balloons being mistaken for missiles, or UFOs, eventually resulting in all-out nuclear war. We did not see that one coming. Since its initial release in German, it's been re-recorded, covered, and parodied many times, firmly lodging it forever in our collective memory. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Pumped Up Kicks, Foster the People. It's got a catchy bass line, and its falsetto chorus would make anyone think it's a pretty cheerful tune. Which is not surprising given that frontman Mark Foster worked as a commercial jingle writer before finding success with his band. But Pumped Up Kicks lyrics are actually quite sinister, describing the thoughts of a disturbed young man who has fantasies about murder. The dark, disturbing lyrical content sure didn't faze listeners, and the track spent 8 consecutive weeks at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2011.
Did we forget another case of a peppy song with a sad meaning? Let us know in the comments below.
This ain't no party, this ain't no disco, this ain't no fooling around.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.